Good day, good morning, folks. This is Derek from New York City. Today I would like to raise a topic that is of interest to me or has been for quite a while. And that topic is or would be part of the general discourse that we've been having in recent times as it affects women. In many areas in our Western Hemisphere, men disrespect women openly without shame or embarrassment. I repeat, men are very disrespectful towards women in the Western Hemisphere mostly. I'm talking about in America, the Americas, United States of America, Canada, Britain, and the European continent, and the Caribbean. Many women face embarrassment, verbal and physical embarrassment or harassment that has gone way out of control. Men would abuse women verbally, tell them what they feel like about them. If they make advances towards them and they were rebuffed, they would openly insult them and call them derogatory names because they were rebuffed. And this goes across the board in terms of age. There's no difference. Even young boys disrespect women and girls publicly, in the buses, the subways, on the street, and the parks. This must stop. I saw recently on television where a female reporter, was reporting live on the street. The cameraman had the camera on her and she had the mic reporting, and then this fella, tall Spanish fella, it probably was somewhere in Spain. Yes, it was in Spain. And this tall Spanish male came up behind her, touched her waist just above her buttocks. He touched her waist there on her hip at the side of her top of her buttocks to get attention. He didn't know her, but he felt he had the privilege. He was privileged, or he had the authority, or he had the right to do so because he found her attractive. Even though she was working, she was operating as a reporter on the street with a camera focused on her, and if he did something like that, he would be seen on camera too, but he couldn't care less. He came up behind her, he touched her on the buttocks, and then when she felt his hand suddenly, and she was aghast, and then she didn't stop right away to confront him, but her cameraman said, "Miss, please attend to this matter right away. Find out why is it this man, do you know this man, why did he touch you?" And she confronted him, and the man blazingly said he was unaware of what he did. He stood there and watched her in the eye and said, "Madam, I don't know what you're talking about." When it's there, caught on camera, his hand at the woman's hip, as he put it there and he moved it to the way to get her attention, and he was walking away and she confronted him. And he is in total denial of his act or action. And that is just one of the mild circumstances where women are treated with disrespect. It happens all the time in office where a boss comes in or calls his secretary or some female in the office, and he gets up from his desk and he offers her some tea or asks her if she wants some tea or something, or he wants to make a point, to discuss a matter, and he will get into her face up close and personal. Touch her in the shoulder, hold her hand, or touch her in the hips, because he feels he can, because he's the boss, and she will not resent it. But many women are afraid to resent it because they say, if I resent it, I will lose my job. So they allow it to go on, and then he will continue to do so until she can no longer, she probably have to resign, leave the job, or condone it, and then he'll probably take it further. He want to make a sexual proposal. I would like us to meet, to go and have dinner or tea or something, because he would feel that now he's gotten the liberty, he's taken the liberty, and he's gotten this far without any expression of opposition from her, so he can take it further. And he does. More often than not is what happens. Women are being disrespected in every society on this planet, in every country on this planet. I don't know how much disrespect women experience in Asia or the Asiatic countries, but I'm sure it exists there. because it's a very patriarchal society. Those societies are historically patriarchal. Africa and Asia and the Muslim Arab countries is historically patriarchal, and they have very little regard for women. So I'm sure these things happen to women there too. Despite what they say, but to have respect for women, Muslim women, they must be clothed and covered and all that. I still feel women are verbally abused or confronted without their consent by men who feel that they can do so because they are men and they are supposed to be in charge of society. They have the power to do as they please. Well, I'm going to tell women now what they should do. I have 4 sisters. I don't have any brothers. I have 4 sisters. I grew up with 4 sisters. So I know women. I had 4 sisters. I grew up with 4 sisters. So nobody can tell me how women feel or how they should feel. I never disrespected my sisters, and they've done me lots of stuff. But I never disrespected my sisters. One time I got in a physical confrontation with one of my sisters, and I regret to this day I did so. And I did everything I possibly could to let her know that I felt embarrassed. I felt I did her wrong, and I'm sorry. And that was one incident I can recall that I verbally touched my sister, and I regretted it. But I'll say this now. Women, if you are verbally abused, physically or by word, very often, not when a man abuses you verbally, do not respond in kind, because that will give him an opportunity to prolong and probably even get physical. Ignore him, walk away if you can, or leave the situation. If he gets physical by touching you, stand your ground. Say, listen, I resent this action, and if you touch me again, you'll regret it. Stand firm, look in the eye. If you touch me in that fashion again, you will regret it. And let him think about those words. And see if he's going to have the nerve again to touch you in that fashion. But you have to stand your ground, whether it's your boss. I resent being touched by you or any male without my consent, sir, or whoever it is. Do not touch me in my person. Do not come into my face this close up to my person without my consent. Do not touch any part of my body while speaking or not. I know you're my supervisor, I know you're my employer, but I do not approve of this type of behavior from you or any male. So I ask you to stop it this very moment. And if they continue to push it, get more aggressive, kick them on the shin or in the nuts. The shin, a person's shin is a very painful area when kicked. That's right in the center of your feet, your lower feet, from your knee going down to your feet. That bone that's the center there, from your knee down to your feet, to the foot, sole of your foot, you kick them there. Either one, kick hard. You see how they'll get down, how they'll fall down, how they'll grow up in pain. You either kick them there or you kick them in the nuts. And you know what I mean when I say kick them in the nuts. Soon as they get, soon as they get personal like that, kick them in the shin. Hard, not be afraid. Kick one heavy kick in that shin. Let them feel some pain, or in the nuts. That is your form of defense if they get physical with you. If they talk, let them talk. Anybody can talk and get abusive verbally. Don't bother with that. But if they get physically by touching you inappropriately or groping you, holding your breast or any part of your body, or coming up close like this into your face and talking in your face and threatening you, kick them in the shin or put your knee in the nuts. Hurt them. And then if it gets, and then reported that you defended yourself because that person attacked you, you defended yourself. You were attacked by that person and you defended yourself. This is my advice to all women who are approached or treated with disrespect in that fashion. Groped, verbally abused in your face, touched inappropriately any part of your body or grabbed any part of your body or threatened in that fashion. You respond in self-defense because you felt threatened. You kick them in the shin or in the nuts. Let them feel some pain. That is your form of defense if you have no martial arts training or any training in self-defense. That is the basic thing you can do to protect yourself, to hurt them, and then you can move away, get away from the scene. And this goes for anybody, relative, associate at work, boss, pastor, priest, even those, they're the worst. Priest, pastor, imam, no exceptions. You have to stand up for yourself because don't expect the men to stand up for you. Because in the majority, men will go along with what's going on. They'll stand and see other men do stuff to you. And if it's not a relative of theirs, they will not intervene. Very rarely would they intervene. Very rare. Other than that, they will laugh or assume that the man knows you and you're pretending or something of the sort. But they will not come to your rescue unless he's probably trying to kill you with a knife or trying to rape you publicly. Then somebody might come. But other than that, if he verbally just talks or just no, they'll stand and probably spur him on to get even more aggressive. I know men because I'm a man. I have 4 sisters, as I said, and I've never disrespected them in that fashion. And I will not be a part of this disrespect for women that I see lots of men all over the world engage in. So I hope the women who are listening to this discourse will pass or circulate this video so that it will encouraging their fellow female sisters to take action and not just to talk or to wait until it gets out of hand, then complain, oh, he did that to me so, or he did that then. You don't want it an after report. You want to have arm yourself or equip yourself with the knowledge of what to do. You've got to stand up for yourself anytime, anywhere. And those are the basic things you can do. Kick him in the shin or in the nut. And then report to the police that you were attacked and you defended yourself because